Harry Potter was a magical series which captured the imagination of children and adults alike. It crossed generations, rekindling a sense of wonder and amazement in all. It was so great that Americans even demanded that they get their own version, which is coming to cinemas soon. In celebration of that fact, I wanted to play through a Harry Potter game, but I didn't want to infringe on any copyrights. So, if you're looking for a Harry Potter game but want to avoid copyright, then I have the game for you, Billy the Wizard. Now let's start with the tutorial. I'm just going to go out and say it, there is something terribly wrong with this game. You control it by rotating the nunchuck. There it is. This is the first and only game I've ever played where that's the case, and it makes the entire experience hell. I started off playing through the tutorial and they didn't even tell you how to control your character right off the bat. It seems like they were trying to hide it. The first tutorial tells you to fly through these rings, but it doesn't actually tell you how to aim, so I accidentally flew away and I couldn't figure out how to get back. I was wiggling around the Wiimote like an idiot with no result because it honestly never crossed my mind that you would have to use the nunchuck to aim. Who does that? I finally figured it out and I finished the first tutorial. And then in the next one, they actually tell you how to move. I could have used this in the last tutorial. The developers even know how fucked the controls are because they put this arrow right above your head. This arrow right here is so that you can find your way back after you get hopelessly lost. That is the mark of a developer admitting defeat. The final segment of the tutorial is a timed race. You have to fly through all these rings in a set amount of time. No kidding, this part was insane. Now this is the tutorial, it shouldn't be this hard to fly around in a circle. At one point I got bored and I started checking out the environment, but that was even more boring. Look, all the house logos are just the same picture but colour shifted. Eventually I beat it and moved on to some of the actual gameplay. This game is unique in that you actually pick the game modes from the level select screen. I already completed the tutorial, so let's move on. Let's fight dragons, because that actually sounds kinda cool. Of course, they let you pick a different character. By this point, I was hoping that I just accidentally chose the one character who used the nunchuck to control, so I picked a different one, Professor McGonagall or whatever, but she controlled as bad as Ron Downsley. The first dragon fight is actually well balanced. You fly around shooting this dragon before it burns down the castle. The dragon is fast enough that you actually have to go at a moderate pace to catch it, which adds just the right level of challenge to the mode. It actually worked pretty well, and then I beat it and I moved on to the next dragon level. No joke, the second level is exactly the same except they put the dragon on crack. Now you have to go at full pace to catch this dragon, and you can't even really aim your shots to hit him properly because he's too fast. You just have to fluke it and shoot as much as you can and hope that he runs into your attacks. After about 3 minutes, I gave up and started exploring the castle again. Well, what do you know, there are other houses in this game. There's Unicorn House, Dragon House, and Dragon House. The next game mode I tried was the Spellbook Chase mode. Now this one was actually easy and chill. There was no time limit, there was no other characters, just me going around in circles slowly trying to catch 8 moving books. Not really much to say here. Honestly, it was so easy that even before the first level was over, I started getting bored again. And so I was looking at the box art for the game. Billy the Wizard actually rides on some kind of futuristic techno broomstick. I'm so curious as to the backstory for this game. Is it magic? Or is the magic just sufficiently advanced technology? Someone call Arthur C. Clarke. The box art held my attention for about as long as this game mode did, so I quickly moved on to Rocket Broomstick Racing. Now this is it. This is the big one. This is the real game mode. All the other modes are intentionally shit, and this one is the one they sell you on. Broomstick Racing, this is it. But it handles just as terribly as the rest of the game. Legitimately, I couldn't even place in the first race. If you make a single mistake in the 3 laps, you are fucked, and it's impossible not to make a mistake because the handling is so terrible. Also, you can shoot at other wizards, but it doesn't seem to do anything. It doesn't slow them down at all. It gives you points, but this is a racing game. Whoever crosses the line first wins. It's like, whose line is it anyway? The points don't matter. But, I don't know, I never beat it, so maybe there is some hidden reason to getting points. Judging by this game though, I doubt it. I figured out I could turn the music down, and then I could actually hear the voices of the other characters. This game was voiced the whole time, who knew? They say stuff like, and whatever that means. The voice acting for this game sounds more Australian than English. The company is American now, but it was originally an English company. At least they were until they went out of business. No surprises there. When your notable games list on Wikipedia includes this, Ninja Bread Man and Anubis 2, you know you're in trouble. Actually, fuck it. Let's talk about this company for a bit. They made Ninja Bread Man, which was received terribly, and then they made Anubis 2. Sorry, that's Anubis the Second, because the game's not a sequel. There is no Anubis 1. Anubis 2, or Anubis the Second, is just a reskin of their previous game, Ninja Bread Man. It's got the same levels, same animations, just different character art. They then made their Mythmakers series, including a kart racing game, another reskin of Ninja Bread Man, and finally Billy the Wizard. And then they went out of business. That probably goes to show something, but I don't know what. I guess don't make 3 remakes of the same shitty game? There's not much to say about Billy the Wizard. This is a terrible game that has terrible controls. It might be alright if it had decent controls, but it doesn't, so it isn't. The saddest part about this game is imagining some poor child excited to unwrap it. Their parents are silently patting themselves on the back for being in the know enough to get the latest Harry Potter game, until the child actually puts the game in their Wii, and all that joy slowly turns to rage and resentment. Billy the Wizard is the exact kind of game that makes kids rebel against their parents. That's all there is to say about it.
Yo, we ain't there. How could he be with all this devastation and desperation surrounding me? So put me in the ground, cause this life has just been pounded out of me. The only reason I ain't sleeping now, cause I got mouths to feed. Why can't I catch a break?